right now.
Okay, can you hear me? I assume you can.
You're good to go.
Okay, it's 5 o'clock. Can we call the traffic advisory committee meeting to order on Tuesday, November 30th, 2021? Let's see here. Let's call the meeting to order. Review of agenda. Oh wait, we have to do roll call. I don't see that on here. Should we do roll call, Jasmine?
Yes. Chair Pacheco?
Yeah, I'm here.
City Engineer Nisha Patel?
Here.
Chief Borges?
Borges is here.
Like I have Paul Blaha for fire.
Yeah, Paul's here in place of Chief Gutierrez.
And Beth Rocha, our senior planner.
Present.
Is in attendance.
Okay, so we can start the meeting. Review of agenda. If there are any items that arose after the 72-hour posting, this is the point of the meeting where a vote may be taken to add any items. Do we want to add any items? I'll assume no. Item 3 is public comment. Members of the public wishing to address the traffic advisory on matters within the jurisdiction of the city's Seaside, but not on this agenda, may do so during public comment period, which is up to 3 minutes. Public comment for presenters on the agenda are also taking at this time. Comments on Pacific Time are heard under that item. For the public record, please state your name. Okay, do we have anybody online?
We do not have any public comment that was submitted via email, and we do not have any.
Okay, so let's keep it moving. Approval of minutes. Item A, approved minutes from February 16th, 2021, regular meeting. Anybody want to make a motion on that?
Did you make a motion?
No, I said, does anybody want to make a motion?
Okay, I can take a motion on that.
Is there a second?
I will second.
Okay, so roll call vote.
Chair Pacheco?
Yep.
No?
Okay.
Borges?
Aye.
Paul Blaha?
Aye.
Beth Rocha?
Abstain.
Okay, item that was approved unanimously. Item B is approved minutes from the May 17th, 2021 special meeting. Does anybody want to make a motion on that?
Motion.
Okay, I can second it.
Okay, roll call vote.
Chair Pacheco?
Yes.
The Engineer Nisha Patel?
Yes.
Paul Blaha for fire?
Yes.
Borges?
Aye.
And Beth Rocha, senior planner.
Abstain again.
Okay,
Passes.
so you have the vote there, right? Ms. Jasmine, okay. Business item, consider 2-hour parking in front of 1049 Broadway Avenue. Leslie, I assume that you're giving that report?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't we go for it?
Jasmine, can you share your screen with the attachment 2? Sorry. I'll be presenting the staff report for the requested 2-hour parking in front of 1049 Broadway Avenue. Staff received this request from Ms. Morgan, the owner of Lily's Fashion Boutique. She has indicated that vehicles park in front of her business all day, resulting in the loss of patrons. The business is located on Broadway, on the north side of Broadway, between Fremont Boulevard and Terrace Street. Can you go to the second page? I mean, second attachment. There we go. So Lily's Fashion Boutique is located at 1049. If you look at attachment 2 in the upper aerial photograph, is situated between 1043, a vacant building to the west, and 1069, a mixed-use building, or maybe it's just a commercial building to the east. It currently houses the Village Project. And the parking that you see between the two buildings at 1049 and 1069 belong to 1069 Broadway Avenue businesses. So there are 11 marked parking spaces along this side of Fremont along Broadway between Fremont and Terrace. And she is requesting the parking in front of her business at 1049 to be marked 2-hour parking. She does not have any on-site parking as her neighbors do. So if approved, there would be 5 parking spaces designed for 2-hour parking. And you can kind of see it from the photos. And basically, I can answer any questions that anyone has.
Does the committee have any questions?
Yes, I have a question.
I do too.
Go ahead, Fire Chief.
2 questions. The first question is, if it's 2-hour parking, is it going to be enforced by the Seaside PD if vehicles are parked there beyond 2 hours? And the second question is, has anyone approached the Village Project to possibly do joint sharing of their parking spaces inside their parking lot?
So I can answer your second question. The parking spaces along the side of her business at 1049, she has contacted the Village Project and is paying for parking on a month-to-month basis with them. But in the event that another office space inside that building opens up and is taken over by someone else, she may lose her privileges there.
And on the first question, I believe Roberta or Samantha gave a report that they're hiring 2, I can't think of the vehicle abatement officers on top of the additional 1. So they'll have a 3, and they purchased 2 vehicle abatement cars to focus on Broadway, Fremont, Del Monte, as far as marketing them with tickets. And I believe that they are going through the background check now as far as filling those positions. Oh, and I'm sure the police chief can answer that a whole lot better than I can.
No, that was very, very accurate. So yes, we will enforce that. We're in the process of hiring 2 parking compliance specialists, which is essentially what Mayor Pro Tem just outlined. And we have 2 vehicles that were purchased. One of them will be equipped with technology to monitor vehicles through video camera and support us with software that will alert us when vehicles are parked in excess to the time limits. So that's all forthcoming. But in the meantime, we can enforce any parking violation as long as we're aware of the situation and are monitoring it. But yes, to answer your question, Mr. Blaha, yes, we will be enforcing that.
Just on that same issue, my only question would be, do you anticipate them being hired, let's say by January, early January? I heard they're going to the background check now.
Yeah, that is really the goal. We have 4 applicants that are currently in background right now. So once they're completed with background, the rest of the process is relatively rapid. We can usually accomplish the rest of the process within 2-3 weeks at the most. So we're just waiting to hear back on some of these background investigations. And I don't know exactly when that date will be, but our goal is to be ready to go by the beginning of the year, fully equipped with our parking enforcement team.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Is there any other questions on this issue? There's one other question someone had. I forgot who though.
Yeah, Beth Rocho, senior planner. I have a question about the parking spaces only on that side of the street. It appears that there's a few closer to the post office or in front of where the village project is, around 4 in front of the subject business, and then a few more further down towards the intersection of Broadway and Fremont. It seems like there's the potential for these long-term parking to be just shifted. So in my mind, when I think about solving a potential problem like this for that area, which is relatively small, you're already giving them around 50% of those parking spaces as 2 hours. Was the thought given to making that entire strip from the post office to the gas station, both of which are red curbed areas, to 2-hour parking for the entire 11 spaces on that side of the street? And then another question is regarding, in the interim, before those staff come on and join the police department, what would be an acceptable method of somebody reporting violators of the 2 hours? Like, it's a timestamp photo showing a license plate while the car is still there and calling that in and showing that that time is being violated acceptable, or what's the best approach?
Yeah, I think, if I may, I think that's really the best approach. We do have vehicle abatement who does a lot of our parking stuff. We have a community service officer who also participates in that, but our second unit isn't working at all times. So right now, it's really helpful if our businesses are communicating any parking issues that they have. There are a few businesses on Lower Broadway that are very good about calling us when they have parking issues, and we can come out on the spot, run a license plate, and address the issue. So for now, I think that's the best way, is just to work in partnership with our businesses to make sure we have that information, so we don't have officers that are just responding to other calls throughout the day and not focusing enough on these parking limit violations. So in the meantime, we definitely can address those issues as long as we're made aware of them, or if we have time and resources to actually dedicate our staff to go down there and monitor that kind of activity.
Just one last question or comment. As I recall, when they placed the 2-hour parking on the side streets on West Broadway, it took, well, let's say 6 to 8 weeks to get the signs ordered, to have them placed in and go through the final process. And also, I think this has to go in front of the city council, which will be the middle of December, then time they order signs from there. So I guess my point being, it would take a 6 to 8 week process to get these signs installed. Is that, if the council approves them at the next council meeting or in January, is that possibly correct? Did you hear that, Miss Leslie? Hello?
Leslie? Did
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, sorry about that. Yes, once we go to council, once they approve it, it will take some time to get the signs ordered and installed. If you're suggesting to do the whole block,
no,
that wasn't noticed when we sent the notice out to the neighboring adjacent business owners. We did this request based upon her paying for the signs. That's how we, it's a property owner's responsibility to pay for the signs that are installed for their business. So if we do it down the street on both sides, I don't know how we'd need to budget that.
all right. I'm thinking just related to this issue, because that's only on the agenda. Time it goes in front of the city council, time you order the signs, time they get installed, you'll have 2 additional street monitoring staff plus the vehicle maintenance, so that they need to be able to handle that without a reactive time, because there'll be additional 2 more. That's my only point. Any other questions? And if not, we'll go out to the public. So Jasmine, is there anybody online?
Yes. Chair, Jasmine has lost control of the screen, so we don't have anyone on the line, and there's no comments.
Okay. Why don't we bring it back to the committee and see which direction you're thinking about.
I would make a motion to approve the recommendation and as written for 2-hour parking, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sundays and holidays on Broadway Avenue in front of 1043 and 1049 Broadway, adding 5 parking spaces for 2-hour parking.
Okay.
I will second that.
Okay, so I think we need to do a roll call vote.
We can do the ayes because Jasmine's lost control, I guess.
Oh, I can go through it, Nisha. Chair Pacheco?
I'm not gonna vote because it's gonna come back to the council. This could be I'm gonna abstain. That's the word. Thank you.
Nisha Patel?
Aye.
Chief Borges?
Aye.
Paul Blaha?
Aye.
Beth Rocha?
Aye.
Okay. So it passed 4 to 0 to 1. Okay, staff communication. And I'll have one thing, but does anybody have any staff communications? And I'll just add something at the end. Okay, so I'm going to assume no.
I don't have any staff communications at this time.
Okay, just can we look at, I think someone mentioned it earlier. So far, if this is approved, that means we've done 2. This will be the 3rd one we've done for 2-hour parking or 20-minute parking. Can we look at and I know it takes staff time to do them individually. Can we at least discuss the idea of doing it from, like we do West Broadway, from Fremont and Broadway to Noche Buena, so that way we can reach out to the businesses, see if they're interested, see the impact, or if there's 20 more minute parking, so that way we can possibly resolve the issue, not the issue, but the individual request on this. So maybe we can bring it back as it relates to discussing the concept, or for report, or just for discussion, and go for that. That would be my request for down the road. Okay. Seeing no comment, hopefully we can do that. And then the last item on the agenda is to adjourn. I assume no one's opposed to that.
I motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we're just gonna say all in favor.
Well, aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Okay. And that's pretty much it. Thank you very much. I think we're taking care of the business.